Well, I have an interesting story to tell tonight.
I have an interesting introduction for myself tonight. So,
Oh, good.
you usually get laugh and then I say something dumb.
Well, it's like just the way it is, I suppose. All right, post there, share there.
Share it on my
Gets...
too, please.
What?
On mine. Oh no, here, I'll do it myself.
Well, there you go. All right. So, welcome. What happened to Nicole?
Okay. Sorry.
All right, welcome to Talk About Paint Club. I am Chevy Chase, and you're not.
I get it all ready, and then you make me laugh. What a bitch you are, man. I am the chick who's afraid of the lightning. So if I twitch a few times tonight, I am apologetically not giving a shit.
Oh, they're not sorry. It's not just fireworks being set off. It's actual lightning and thunder.
Yes, it is. The other night, unfortunate. Fireworks at midnight, and it was like Thursday, and I was like, you know what? I don't have kids. I don't have dogs. There's nothing that makes me, wow, fuck you guys. But I like sleep on a regular weekday, like most humans would. I like how Rick says, "Where did she go?" And then he leaves.
Forgot my water, yo. Can't survive on carbonated beverages alone. Yeah, we had fireworks being set off at 4 o'clock in the morning the other day. I was like,
"That's
so who the hell just like?" And then I hear my immune and get out of one resting area to go hide in another resting area. I'm like, really? This is how we're gonna have? Like we already celebrated the 4th. We already blew a hole out of the country. Let's move on.
One of my best friends, she was like, "Hey guys, is there any date for when this ends? Because I'd like to know when my dog can return back to normal."
Right. That's super rude. All right, so we are actually, this is our third week for the month of July, so we will have a double dead week going on. And I'm trying something new that I did not want to try out for this broadcast, so we might actually do like a surprise pop-up test later on. But all month I've been doing this through YouTube to paste the link to other places. So thanks for following in the Facebook group or watching in the Facebook group. If you want to get all the information, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell button, blah, blah, blah. God, I hate fucking.
Oh, yeah. My favorite YouTuber does this thing where she goes, at the end, she'll be like, "Have a great day, guys. Wash your cars and subscribe." And I'm like, but you know what? It worked. My ass clicked the button. I was like, damn, you know what, Charlotte? I get you.
Like Alicia saw how many people I follow on YouTube and subscribe to. She's like, how do you watch all that stuff? I'm like, I don't, but I know like if I want to just scroll through and be able to see like, oh, because I like their content once upon a time, I can go see what's up and see if they have something new to watch. But I don't watch all 72 in a week. That's crazy. But following is easy. It's just hitting the subscribe button, and that's easy enough. Like, hell, I follow 800 people on Instagram. And not like everybody produces something every day, or I put it away in a heartbeat. But yeah. So.
Would you though?
I don't know. Like I've been pretty off social media for the past several weeks. I posted my Goldo for the Goldo show as one should for when doing shows. I've posted some teaser stuff on my Instagram, but like I have not spent a lot of time sorting through Instagram and whatnot, I saw that there were some cool releases and teases today from a couple people. Saw like Hot Actors, really cool Raw Man character. Saw that teased in a couple different people's feeds. Thought that was super cool. Saw some stuff by some fan bases like the Bullet Punk, and just saw people like, like just those who I know, if I can quickly see what's going on, I've checked in on and see what's up. But like, I don't know. I'm sure there's more happening in the world than what I looked at.
Well, you've been a little busy there, bud.
I've been a little busy living in my own little bubble, but that's going to be a thing for a while longer. So yeah. And then looking up at stuff on Facebook, because like, I mainly just look on Facebook when I'm like waking up, drinking my first cup of coffee for the day, and yeah, and that's about it. So
can I tell you, all I can hear right now is Linda Perry singing in a wake in the morning and I step outside. Walking outside going,
hey. But like there's been like some digital work that has to get done, and some just plain old paperwork, and getting my back to want to like behave like a spine should. That's been a real killer. Like, ever since my back went out in May, it's been like hard to try and get everything moving at the same time. So
you just reminded me to crack mine. Thank you very much.
Well, like the other night I was like, wow, I had a good day, nothing hurting. And then like I'm laying in bed, but I arched my back so I could adjust my sheet, and it was like a lightning bolt shooting through my belly button. And I'm like, no, it's not supposed to happen like this. Well, it did, and then it jacked up yesterday to fairly well. But so like,
did I ever tell you what happened the first time my back cracked after they took the metal out?
No.
Okay, so my mom, she was a nurse for a chiropractor, so she used to actually crack my back when I was younger. Fucking epic to get like adjustments in your fucking house. I'm telling you, clutch. And I know how to do them, but I would not suggest having me do it because you may have a paralyzed something happen, as I am not a professional. Anyways, so she would do it and I missed it, obviously. And she refused to try it on me with my rods in. And we took them out in 2013, and I was recovering, ironically, in this house, but upstairs. With her instead of the house I lived in, because my room was like 3 flights of stairs. And although I had to walk upstairs to get to her house, I wasn't going to go anywhere. And I laid on the bed, and it wasn't the first night. It was like the third night. I felt like a really hard pop. And I was like, right to the ER, because I had no clue what just happened. It hadn't happened in like 7 years or whatever, 5 years. And I was like, did I just re-break my spine? Like I know it's not that easy, but like the panic that ensued in my heart, I was just
sure.
like, and there were like, no, I think you just released like 5 years of gas that was like sitting in like a few of the discs or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I've had many embarrassing ER stories where like I've gone there thinking something's wrong, and they're like, which is why I don't go to the ER.
There you go. No, I'm gonna have to go seek assistance with my spine eventually. So it is what it is. I'm trying to muscle through the rest of this summer, though. So, yeah. All right. So
Techniques at some point.
Right. So what are you drinking tonight, Mrs. Nicole?
Well, I'm finishing my coffee, but my little iced tea here and my water.
There you go.
I had an alcoholic beverage this week, and I'm proud of myself. It was a whole alcoholic beverage. I drank the entire alcoholic beverage. Oh, wait, 2 of them. 2 of them. One was on my birthday, and I had a Brazilian version of a mojito. I don't know how to say the name, so I'm not gonna. I call it Capriana, but I don't feel like butchering the beautiful Portuguese language, so not gonna do that. And then I had something called a super fruit lemonade, which was just like Brazilian fruits with lemonade and vodka and Grand Marnier and vodka. And I was like, hit me with your best shot, babe. Let's do it. Like I fucking and ironically, I had them at both places. Like both of the places I had them were the same exact restaurant in 2 different locations. I went to everyone knows Fogo de Chao.
Yeah.
Like so I went to Fogo de Chao over here near me in White Plains, and then I went to Fogo de Chao across the street from MoMA in Manhattan.
Nice.
Yeah, like just because what's it called? I was showing Vandal around MoMA and all that shit.
Okay.
And when we went to leave, we were like, oh, we should probably eat something. And Fogo de Chao was like literally right there. And I was like, well, I just had that for my birthday. It's really good. And he's like, let's do it.
Excuse me.
Fogo de Chao twice this week, which is like,
it sounds expensive.
I felt bougie. I felt, and like when they came by, so they came by, this was definitely Manhattan versus like White Plains, like just to teach you about like the difference of just New York itself. White Plains, they let you just chill and eat or whatever. Fucking in New York, there's this guy walking around with fucking Louis the 13th, fucking Remy Martin, the big ass expensive like 5 gram bottle, you know, like to each table, seeing if they'd like a taste. You want to guess how much a taste is?
$50.
120.
Oh, there you go.
And
I should have gone more because they charged $4 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Like
$3 for an 8-ounce bottle of Coke.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm okay. Because I also don't like cognac. And I knew A, I was going to either throw up, B, I ate it and never be able to finish it. Or C, I was going to finish it and then my stomach was going to regret it profusely later, regardless of me not throwing up. It was like 0 out of 0 reasons to drink this thing. And I knew I couldn't appreciate it. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then
$150, man.
Yeah, let's have one. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. So I did taste it on my lips just to say that I had it, because otherwise,
yeah.
Like how often let's say I tried a fucking 100-year-old bottle of Remy Martin that's worth this much? Never. 0 out of 0 days of my life. So I did what we called the church sip.
Right.
Put it to your lips. Way. And I still did this face. And the
only
was,
good
yeah.
the only good thing I've ever discovered to do with brandy is soak cherries and apples in it and turn it into a cordial later on.
Rick, they literally start with this. I don't even know what it's called, and I feel like people who like know how to drink these things are going to be like, "You're so stupid. It's called a blah blah blah." Like a syringe thing where he sticks it in the bottle and like it pulls out just the right amount in this like metal thing that keeps it cool, and it aerates it perfectly while you pour it into the little like mini goblet thing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on at my table right now?
You're paying for the show.
I was so confused because us poor folk don't do shit like that.
No, we go to once a year, my best friend and I, we go to the Fogo de Chao, and we do it. Yeah, because we have one in the metro, but we do. So in October, we have what's called MEA. It stands for Minnesota Educators something. I don't know what the A stands for, but we get 2 days off. And yeah, so like the theory is that time to stop is all the educators in the world migrate to like this one auditorium in downtown St. Paul to talk about strategies, et cetera, et cetera. Or if you don't go there, you utilize those 2 days off after your first 6 weeks to retool your classroom, or you just take them off. And it's not just limited to public educators, because my buddy works for a community college, and he gets them off too. He gets that time off too. It's very rare to see that. And so yeah, we either Thursday or Friday, he comes over here, we take the train down, because it's easier to spend $1.50 on the light rail, to spend 40 minutes on the light rail, as opposed to driving downtown and trying to find parking there and spending like anywhere between $7 to $15 for fucking parking. So we
That's light, man.
Yeah. I mean, this past year we ended up he ended up driving because we didn't want to get on a train because of COVID. And and the year before we actually didn't do it the year before because he had to take his kid to go look at school stuff. They were scouting colleges.
Ooh.
And then but I love going there. Alicia never goes because, one, she doesn't eat that much to warrant going. Two, she is not a big beef eater. And three, the idea of seeing my gross rare plate is nauseating to her. She does not like looking at bleeding meat on the table or at the kitchen table. So whenever, like, if ever I go, I never invite her because I know she's going to decline for those three reasons. So, but every once in a while, she's like, well, I wish you would have extended the invitation. I'm like, but you're not going to accept. So, like, I'm just cutting out the middleman.
You know, I had a friend that would say that to me, like when I stopped inviting him places, and he's like, well, it's just nice to be invited. And I was like, what, for me to feel rejected each time? Like, I know it feels nice to be invited. It does not feel nice to be rejected every single fucking time.
There you go. And like, I took her dad there once for like his birthday or Father's Day.
Without her?
Yeah.
You're hilarious.
Yeah. And then like one of the benefits, so I live like 4 blocks from a train station.
Oh, of course.
And so like normally when Bob and I go on our yearly thing, we do let our other buddies know that we're going so that they will rearrange their schedule so they can join us because lunch is cheaper than a meal or a dinner time. But yeah, typically like we'll all when we meet at my place, we'll have a beer 2 or 3 and get a load on before we even get onto the train, so we can be like, just in a really good mood when we get there. So.
I don't know the Korean barbecue place, but the name of it.
Oh, I love Korean barbecue.
There's a Japanese barbecue place nearby here. Oh my god, I fucking love it. And it's the closest thing to Korean barbecue we have around here. In terms of like legit barbecue. But there's this one place I go with Luke every time I'm out in LA, and he always is like, it's so expensive, Nicole. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's not like him and I went to this one like 5-star like fucking dining place that was like absurd. And it was to the point where we're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to spend money then. You know,
right.
If we're going to eat here, we might as well. But it was one of the, Bestia. It was Bestia. He was like, only be going here once when you visit. And I was like, yep.
You ever watch the show Worth It?
No, but I feel like I'd understand it.
Okay, so I think it's on Amazon. Maybe it was on Netflix before we got rid of them. So a show called Worth It, where you had some guys from the BuzzFeed show or network. They were going around. I think it was on Netflix because I see it on Amazon Prime and it's not available on Amazon Prime. Anyway, so you got a group of guys, most often 2, and they are going to 3 different three different places that served the same food but with three different price points to see which one was the best bang for your buck. And so Reader's Digest or condensed version is one of them. They went to an ice cream place and they went ice cream, so they were like, so they tried like this one that's like a soft serve cone for $1, and then they try like this higher end ice cream place that's like you're gonna walk away spending like $12 for your ice cream. And then there was this one that they had shot separately in New York when they were doing a New York adventure, and it was like this fucking $1,000 sundae. I don't know how it was an expensive looking sundae, and because they had shaved truffles on it and the edible gold and all this other crap on it. So like, and for that one, sorry, spoiler, the dollar ice cream cone won out because that's like the worth it price point. They have like, I don't know, 40 episodes, and like they cover ramen and coffee and eggs and ribs and chicken fried steak or fried chicken and shit like that. So kind of okay.
I've
watched them all. So like, what the hell? This was a while ago. It's funny watching like how the hosts interact with each other, and they like, there's actually, I guess, a third host because it's kind of like one of the camera guys, and he's such a puppy dog. Like, well, like he's got this sad face. He's got this sad hipster face going on because he's always got like the beard and stuff going on. But like they just like, they're eating something and they're like, oh, we can't finish it. Hey, you want a piece? Yeah. And he's just like sitting there down eating like their leftovers and shit. Puppy dog. So yeah.
You're hilarious.
And I'm drinking a Tandem Tap from the good folks at Sociable Cider Works. This is actually one of Alicia's, but I wanted a boozy beverage tonight. So it's infused with blood orange. It's a 6.4 ABV.
I definitely infused with blood, and I was like,
that's later. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So like last week, meanwhile, back at the original story, last week we discussed Dunnies we wish were made into 5 inches, and we're going to continue that today.
I forgot to send you my list. Oh my god.
Oh, you forgot. Oh, you terrible person. And yeah, we're going to discuss that in a little bit, but we're going to follow with part of the show format before we stutter onto that. And yeah, so what have you been working on lately, Nicole? I think I already started part of this.
I sent it to you.
You sent it to me. What'd you send to me?
The fucking Belcom.
The Belcom. Okay. Haha, you wanted that. Okay. Pardon. Let's go.
Because I had to set up my paint room and I had to do all that stuff here. And fun fact, thank God I'm switching the room that I'm painting in, because I did this fun thing the other day called locking myself out of my own apartment. And I did an extra fun thing called putting my stepdad's keys that have the keys to this apartment in the house.
Oh, geez.
Like in my apartment, because I was arguing with the people. Yeah, okay. Long story short, arguing with the neighbors about them parking in his spot. I fucking like moved his car backwards because he didn't want to do it and like bother them or whatever. And then I put the keys in here. I walked upstairs to complain to him about how I yelled at the neighbors. And he's like, well, where are my keys? And I was like, oh, let me go get them. And I walked down the stairs and I'm like, oh, how did I lock myself out of my home? So then I go outside, like, okay, no big deal. The back door's open. How did I lock myself out of my home?
Oh, no.
And my bitch, that's the only key. Like so he somehow manages to give me the hall door that leads into where I paint now total side story here, sorry. And it has all of my resin molds like on this like shelving thing. And so it's so fucking heavy to move that the shelving. And he's like, you're gonna have to squeeze your ass through that little space that I got open. And I'm like, it was awful. But now that I have a space to paint, this is what I made.
Okay, let's go back to the screen share.
Story why I chose it. So I find it kind of ironic that Red Guardian and I both did like Disney themed, because he did an Ursula, hands down cooler way. But so if anyone knows anything about Alice in Wonderland, besides the fact that obviously my name's fucking Mad Hattress, so that's where my shit is. The King of Hearts in the book is pretty much like the same stature and like importance as the Queen of Hearts. In the movie, he's like a little midgy dinky dink dude who like is like her bitch, and makes 0 out of 0 sense to me. So when I saw Balkong, I'm sorry, I was like this toy with the Goldo. I was like, all right, my first thought was like, oh, I gotta do Biggie, like how I do Biggie on like a lot of my stuff. And then I gotta do something different. And all I kept thinking of was like the Queen in her big ass dress. Yeah. And like, oh, I should make the King of Hearts. I should make him look like the King of Hearts and like what he would and should be as a big badass man.
Right. That's cool.
So this is where we got him. On the actual Queen of Hearts' costume and all that, and her dress, it alternates colors.
That's cool.
So his is literally the same as what her dress is.
That hair translates well into a crown.
Thank you. That was like, that's what I was trying to think too, was like, I didn't want to sculpt a crown. I liked his hair. And in the movie version, his hair is like a goldish brownish color. Like not like blonde. It's like a little bit like a light brown gold. So I was like, oh, I'll just use 2 different golds to accent the crosses on the belly part, which is like the under part of her dress. Like, oh yeah. In the cut, how does the yellow, black. I did that, and like his shoes, different gold, and like with his sleeves, where it meets is like a little bit of gold, and then underneath is a little bit of gold. So like, and then his zipper is different. It's like they're just 2 different golds to like distinguish like the hair's color versus the.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of it. Oh, and I know we don't like to do things unless we're sponsored because, money. But I gotta just say, these fucking paints, where are they? The new Soul Flats. I literally felt like I got so much work done so fast, and it dry, like it's not meant to blend well though. Okay. It dries pretty quickly.
There you go.
At least I don't.
All right, so I did not take. Well, I took some pictures of other stuff, but all right. So I'm not going to show. So I have one piece that I painted this week that really I have no idea where it's going to land in the world of what I'm painting for right now. Grabbing some gloves because I don't want to. I finished it today. Actually, this corresponds with the homework pretty well, which means I get to show it off a second time. But so this is a vinyl toy produced by Kid Robot by Mark Dean Vega. And I bought it from Martian Toys a couple years ago. And So like
Part
they had a red version and a yellow version, and then like
the black gold one, right?
so I think so. They're like I think it was Martian Toys that did like an antique version of this with the red, and so like you said, I got a hold of this, and it's been sitting around primed in my basement for there we go. It's been sitting around primed in my basement for about 2 years. So I just decided like what the hell I have a color concept with this. I have a homework assignment, and so I made this all work with it, and it's blacklight reactive. It's just turn that light off, turn this off. There's my light. There we go. Look at that. So
I love that sound. That's like your lightsaber.
that'd be cool. So yeah, I got some new neon paints in the mail this week, and so hitting this with one of them was the goal today. It does not have like the greens and the pinks to match the greens and the pinks. It's hit with one from above, and I dig it. The effect is where I'd like it to be. But yeah, so like this was also an experiment for some other material to be used, and no, it turned out well, and yeah, my blends came out pretty decent, and I'm just overall pretty happy with this. I always thought that like if I painted this green, that it would look more like one of those little green aliens. I don't think that came out as well, but I still like it.
He
I'm
doesn't look.
Excuse me.
He doesn't look like an alien.
No, I thought about that when I was first like wanting to do this a couple of years ago, and then by chance I ended up painting it green yesterday.
Okay. I was like, don't say that. He's cute.
No, so like, yeah, this came out. I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. So like for my number of toys for this summer, that would be number 30. And so like I realized I have like the clutter show to do, and then one for Robin's Nest, and then one for one in September, plus so I have like 4 or 5 shows to prepare for, all within about 6 weeks of each other, which is
good job.
Yeah, it's hell, 2 are on the same fucking day, or weekend. So
I had my first year of doing art, like to sell. I had my first big show. Okay, so this is such a random like skippity skip hop hop. I went from like just one gallery here in my like where I live to Luke seeing how I did the gummy bears to being a giant robot for the Let's Eat, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? I went from like Connecticut to like fucking Los Angeles, and it like whoosh, and at the same time I had a piece that was selling in Connecticut at a different pride. They got a pride show here, and I was like, this is very interesting, like to have 2 different shows going on at the same exact time,
right,
and you're only able to be at one. And I was like texting someone from like on the East Coast going like, how is the other show? I feel so weird not being able to, like, it was so strange.
Well, like weird thing is like if you're in multiple shows for like Decon or 5 Points, and then or New York Comic Con, you're like, what the hell's going on there? Like when Martian Toys did the Megatech show, and I had pieces in other places, and it was just like I'm glued to like all their Instagrams, like, why haven't you done a live thing yet? And just like and then like finding out like, oh, this show I was like, oh, you sold on this show, okay. And then and like, oh, weird. So yeah. So what have you been listening to this week while we've been moving, painting, doing our thing?
Um, podcast actually. It's unsolved crimes,
Okay.
and I love it. I love it. Um,
Cool.
it's also a show, but you really don't need to watch it because there's literally nothing that they're showing you. They're just talking the whole time. Like they'll show you like
Okay.
pictures, like what the person looked like, but it's like to me, don't care. Like
Okay.
tell me about Harry Houdini's mysterious ass death. Like, yeah, I want to know that for no reason. And the dynamic between the two is just so funny. Like the guy Ryan who like believes in like ghosts and shit like that. He's like the one that's always like, and then his partner Shane is like the cynical, like,
Oh, are you doing BuzzFeed? Like Shane and Ryan?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shane is my shit. Shane is first. Ryan's hilarious, but only because Shane makes fun of him.
Right. So Ryan's got that puppy dog look too.
Yeah.
That's the pup. So like I think that's required of being a member on the BuzzFeed. So you have to have somebody with the puppy dog face.
That's what you were talking about when you said BuzzFeed and puppy dog face. I was like, isn't it Ryan Bergara?
No, man, but that guy had so
especially when they're in the haunted houses. That shit is fucking hysterical. He'll like go into the room and he'll be like, all right, guys, I'm letting you say whatever you want. I'm giving you open room to talk to me. And then Shane will like,
demons, it's your boy Shane.
or like they'll go to sleep in like the house or whatever, and like Ryan's like this the whole time, and Shane's like he hands the camera and shows Shane like, pass the fuck out, or like
so
where he like goes into the room and he like gets real quiet on purpose, Shane, and he'll like just pop out and go like, oh, what you doing there, Ryan? And apparently it's their last season of BuzzFeed Unsolved, and I was.
But they have something else planned.
They have to. They have to.
I believe they have something else planned. There's an episode of
not okay
Worth It. So there is an episode of Worth It where they're all like in the BuzzFeed meeting, and as they're leaving, they bump into other crews, and like Ryan Bergara like looks at them and gives them a sneer. It's like, really? Like, why like, did they take your foodie store show? I don't know. Yeah.
That's so fantastic. I'm so glad that you knew what I was talking about. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was watching the girl that I usually do, Bailey, who does like the makeup and all that. Yeah. And then it brought me to some other girl who's British that does the same exact thing. And I was just like, oh my God, these people, not to be an asshole, but these people need to get to the motherfucking point with some of these like things. Because I do not want to hear an hour and a half of you saying, but like, it was crazy, right? Like, you don't know. And then like 2 minutes later, you see, you just don't know. And you're like, oh my God, get it. We don't fucking know. Move on. How do you murder her? Like, or why is this episode an hour? I know you're doing your makeup, but you're just dragging it out. So they get to the motherfucking point. They tell me the key parts, and they're.
I know I'm guilty of using the same like verbiage, but like I was listening not a while ago, a year or so ago. I was listening to this one podcast where like it had topics that I wanted to listen to, and I listened to the two or three that I was like, okay, these are the topics that brought me to your podcast. And then after casually listening to it, I was like, man, that hostess says basically and essentially all the time, and I just got tired of hearing. So like it was talking about cults, and every time she wanted to give out an example or a metaphor or something, she would always start with, well, basically it's this, or it's essentially this, and it's like, it wore down on me where I'm like, damn, I know you get paid by the syllable, but do you have to use the same fucking transition word every time? So I'm like,
It'd be funny if she just had a thesaurus in front of her.
wow, basically a very small one, but it's like good for you guys. Like you had like over 100, you have over 100 episodes, but man, you lost me because like I just can't deal with it anymore. Like, and a lot of them were like just cool. Were cool topics. It's like pick some new words, man. Yeah. Welcome to Critic Club. I'm your host Rick Strohmeyer, and this is Nicole Harris, and we're going to criticize the shit out of everything today.
Fucking full name of the goddamn internet. All right.
Oh, I thought it was Alexandra. I'm sorry.
Wrap on this episode of.
All right, so we're gonna cut to the big ass topic and go from there. So last week,
before we finish that, since I just thought of it, your friend Bob, I told my dad that I was going to be doing this, and if he didn't listen to me and agree to doing something that I would do, like I would publicly shame him consistently until it gets done. And he thought I'm sure he thought I was kidding, or he probably didn't care. I'm not sure which, but he gave me the thumbs up instead of the verbal confirmation of promising something. So
okay.
All we are on a publicly shared thing. Dad, get a new fucking mattress. It's ridiculous. Rick even agrees. He said to get a new mattress. Okay.
Hey, we're getting a new mattress this week.
See? Wait, you know what, Rick? How old is your mattress?
8 years.
Oh, look at that, Dad. 8 years. Okay, so moving on past the subject.
Sorry, man. I betrayed you.
Now that I've done my obligatory shaming of my father the day before his birthday, he told me I have to be nice to him starting at 8:30 tomorrow morning. I was like, oh, so I could do this until 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so we're trading in. We're swapping out the queen size sleep number that we have for a king size bed, and like we get a total of 18 inches more on the bed, which is pretty cool, and
right.
we both like the manufacturer of the new bed, even though it's expensive as fuck.
How old his bed is, you might actually call him yourself and tell him, holy, get a new bed.
The sleep number next, because we're on a dead week. We're taking it up to her cabin facility there, and then she's going to get rid of the queen that was in her cabin. And she's like, well, we can do this or this. I'm like, I don't care what you do with it, as long as it doesn't come back here. Like, there is no room at the inn for an extra queen size mattress anywhere in this house.
I told my dad, I was like, I know where you live. I know where your key is. If you hide it from me, I know your landlord's name, so I will just get him to open the door for me. I know all of your friends, so I will get them to all publicly shame you. I will literally light it on fire and not care, Dad. Don't test me. And he's turning 64, so you know that song, will you still need me? Will you still feed me? And I said, I will, if you change your mattress. Like, I sang it to him, and I like, I actually, I don't really talk to my sister like that, and I actually put her in the group chat to shame him about it, and I sang and sent him me singing, will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Unless you get a mattress, no, I won't. That's when he did thumbs, and I was like, all right. Crack my knuckles, start sending all your friends messages to tell them to randomly message you asking, hey, quick question. When's the last time you got a new mattress, Bob? I'm wondering how many people will actually do it. All right, share your dunnies, because I forgot to send mine to you, so I'm a failure.
Dude, well, I tell you what, message me them. I'm going to actually do one live, because I have the others all saved up in tabs, thanks to the internet. And yeah. So first up is actually, I don't know, this would be like, this one's cool because it makes 12 or 19-year-old me scream like hell because I love Cthulhu stuff. And this is the King Howie Dunny by Scott Tolleson. I know it was made
Oh, I love that.
I know it was made in a 3-inch version as well. So it's kind of like you get the hat trick of all 3 sizes. I suppose 4 if this would be cool as a 20-inch Dunny, but we'll have a 20-inch wish later on. But this would be cool as I've customized a little one. I bought this to customize and just never have. It's different plastic or vinyl than what your it normally is. So I've been a little worried about cutting into it, but like it's got a cool sculpted wing. These come off. One complaint I would have is like there's no body sculpt on it, and that's almost a tried and true complaint about most Dunnies is like you have a cool sculpted head and the body does not match. And so like, yeah, this would be like, this is my number 10 out of 10. So there we go. Scott Tolleson, King Howie Dunny.
Got it.
You bet. All right. Have you found anything to send me?
No, I'm sending it to you, but it's like disappeared.
Okay. All right.
It's 4, whatever. You'll get over it. I had to scroll back and I was like, wait. And it's only because you had to be so correct about how that's not a Dunny.
Well, sure.
Even if it's from the X series, if it's not a Dunny, it doesn't count.
Yeah, you gotta have Dunnies for the Dunny shit, man. Come on.
Well, here's your fucking the ones that were Dunnies that I still had on my list.
That's all right. All right. So let me see. Open up this. Oh shit.
We have crossover?
No, not yet. I'm just like, what did I do wrong to where technical difficulty? Yeah, okay. Here we go. We'll go with the banana one first and then go backwards. All right, or go around. So screen share here. Nicole, tell us what we're looking at.
Kill me because I can't remember the artist. Thank you very much.
Oh, no.
I'm the worst. I was looking a lot at the GTA series to really like think like what should have gone further than just this.
Sure.
You know me. I like cute shit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I like cute shit. I can't help it. Cute shit is cute shit. That's me. That's how I do things. I like cute shit. I know that a lot of that series was like really, really pushed. Oh, that's Banana Blues. Oh my God, forget it. Anyways, now that I remember, there were a lot of ones that deserved it, but there's something about like the hair,
yeah,
and the way that that's like done on the actual Dunny itself. I don't know. I'm terrible with words today, guys. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Nicole. I'm not a wordsmith, but
welcome to Speech Impediment Club.
Yep. Welcome to the girl who took Toastmasters for months. How are you? Not like I practiced this or anything, but I really like the color palette against it too. Plus, I'm a sucker. I'm such a sucker for stars and rainbows and things like that. So this is my personal wish list versus like what I think everybody else would like. I don't know if everybody else would like it. This was more like a selfish addition to it.
That's all right.
Like, what do I want in my own house? Like it would go along with so many different things that I have.
Yeah. That's a good one.
There were a lot of series that like I battled over, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pick one. Otherwise, my entire thing is going to be all of them.
Right.
Because we could literally go through that entire series and be like, well, that deserves it. That deserves it. That definitely deserves it. Of course, that one deserves it. And then
Like
it's make all of the DTA ones 5 inches.
well, we'll see about that. All right. So now let's see.
That would be a cool fucking idea, having a DTA larger series.
That would be cool. Yeah, but you wouldn't have
It's cheaper.
Wow.
More obtainable to get a set.
It's more obtainable to a set. It's not profitable for them to have something to go over with the masses. So,
what if they did like a top 10 DTA, but it would be like like not old artists, but like the best of. You know what I mean?
It sounds super subjective. Here's my number 4, and because I am being super subjective on this. This is the Mecha Trooper by Huck G. This is a wish one because there's almost a guarantee that Kid Robot and Huck G aren't going to be crossing swords anytime soon. This one also has a face mask that snaps on at the ears. The reason I love this one so much is it has a total body sculpt, and it's really cool. Like it goes with like that 80s mecha vibe so much. And as a customizer, man, this is a great sculpt. The tech dunny head fits really well on this body. I've done probably a dozen custom dunnies like that. It fits really, really well. So as a customizer, I'd love to have this because it's just bigger to work on, and all those parts are awesome. So, and it's kind of the reverse because the head has no sculpt detail except for the removable mask, and the body has all the detail on it. So it does make for a great base for other things.
I think it goes really well with I can't remember what it is now because a week passes. A week passes. I have a birthday, and what's memory?
Right.
Oh God, who was it that you had last week?
The Kano jet.
Yes, thank you. I was like,
I've done that one.
I mean, like I think those two together would look really cool, like in a collection.
Yeah. All right, ready for Nicholetta number 2. Let's go here.
It's funny that you call me Nicholetta. Are you calling me Nicoletta? Because when I was younger,
no, I'm just butchering your name, and I have a new nickname called Choletta from me.
No, well, Nicolina is like little Nicole. So
right.
That was something that I used to get called. Our dear friends Andrew Bell and Scribe.
Andrew Bell and Scribe.
This is a little old baby from 2014, 13. Help me. 14, 13? It was a while ago.
It was before they screwed up with the Andrew Bell dunny. So it's got to be around 2013 before they started hitting the Kid Robots started going in the toilet.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not off completely.
No, I don't think you're off at all. You're like, give or take 2 years, you're doing well.
Yay for me.
This is.
Though, I mean, I kind of think that I think it speaks for itself as to why it should be larger.
Uh-huh.
And I'm being a little stupid with like not caring about it being 5 or 8 inches. 8 inches. I feel like this would be really, really tall and really like hard to do.
At 5, it's almost 10 inches tall because of those stilts.
Yeah. So if you do it in 5, you're almost getting basically an 8. And
that's cool.
Yeah. I was like, that was the easiest, and I'm not kidding, the easiest pick for me. Like, out of all, like, I don't like clowns or circusy looking things. Like, I am really not that person because I hate clowns. Like, it scares the shit out of me. And something about them and this just that circus vibe and that old school, like, carny shit that's going on in that series, like especially with these two. I was like, these need to be bigger. The legs are literally screaming, please supersize me. Like,
Okay.
don't Honey, I Shrunk the Kids me. Honey, I Enlarged the Children. Like, come on. And
I blew up the
it makes
kid.
me sad. It makes me sad sometimes, like when I think about how old some of the ones that we're picking are, because like we said, this was before things happened, and it's like we're never going to see this happen. The Huck Jib will never see happen, but like we should have.
Well, like out of that series, they have there's this yellow and black one that has these cool red wings.
Yes, that was actually that was going to be in mine, and then I was like, no.
Okay. Like I love those wings because I use them for other things. I made a Ravager where that was one of those wings was the spray coming out of the hand just because it looked way more dynamic than the spray that did come out. I've used those as like magical effects for a little dude casting out of his hands. That's a great accessory. You can buy those accessories plain on eBay. Yeah, that's
when we're done with this, my dumbass is going to go on eBay and be like, Dunny accessories.
Yeah. Shit.
If anybody's watching and they have the heart and the neck from the Build a Dunny.
The skeleton one?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Remind me tomorrow. I might have that in the bag of crap over there. Or the bin of stuff.
I know the hardest part, and everyone's charging like $40 for a heart.
I have part of that skeleton Dunny. I don't remember what in there, but I have I'd say 3/4 of it. Yeah.
There's someone named Noodle who we both love very much, obviously. Yeah. And it was her gotcha day the other day, so happy anniversary to her. But that dumb bitch is the one who broke the neck on it because I put it together. It was full, ready to go, except for the heart. And she's like, I'm little. I'm gonna step on everything in my way instead of being like a normal cat who steps over stuff. She's like, nope. Hit me with your next shot.
Okay, so let's see. We'll go screenshot. Okay, we're gonna go here and then. Come on, dude. No. Everybody gets to see me being an idiot on Google. There we go. All right, so I have this 3-inch version in my possession, but I felt like just showing the cooler factory production. I think this is I don't remember what size. Anyway, this is the Gary Ham Autumn Stag. Actually, I'm looking at the image I found is of the 5-inch Dunny. I don't think it was ever made.
You know, it's really funny. I'm staring at the 20-inch one in my house.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, this one
I didn't even see the
artwork. Oh, I'm embarrassed. All right. So yeah, I wish this one would actually get finished, but apparently there's the idea from 5 years ago. If it actually has been made, somebody shoot me tell me, hey, dummy, it's been made. But yeah, I think this was also one of those another DTA Dunny that it seems to it got the 20-inch. It's a 3-inch Dunny, which I have like 2 or 3 over there, and then I know it was a 20-inch Dunny, and one of the nice hacks to that is that they were able to use one of the smaller versions of the Dunny to be able to put in all the swing set places. And I'm seeing on this concept they use the money the Money World, so you have a Fumi, a Tricky, and a Money on it instead of little Dunnies. Because on the 3-inch one you get little tiny Dunnies too. On the 3-inch one you can tell that the Dunnies the little Dunnies on it are were originally zipper proofs. They just happen to be the right size. So I'm dusting it off. I'm gonna cancel my screen share, and I'll just bring this one up. So here's the 3-inch version.
I need that.
So really? Well, remind me to throw one in my truck because I have 2 of these. I've wanted to customize it, and I haven't figured out what I want to do to it.
I don't even know what I would do with it either.
So like.
Yeah. That's like one of the Dunnies that's just so perfect as is. That's like Even when you
It's
want to customize it, you're like in your brain, but how?
well, there is a dude who's made like the most awesome custom of this in the world.
Who?
And this guy's custom. Oh, I guess I lost a leaf. John Paul Kaiser.
Of course. I mean,
Right. You know,
dude,
like
dude, it could be a fucking cracked eggshell and the man can make it glorious.
you could customize a phone book. All right.
Honestly, he could
Yeah.
customize a dead fingernail and people will like it's
So, like,
he's just so good.
He is. And so his gosh, that's cool. Let's see, JPK autumn stat. I wonder if it's that easy.
I won it in a raffle, random facts, and when I got to my house, I literally had nowhere to put it. It's 20 fucking inches and I had a tiny ass apartment.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
those are cool.
The minute my ass got in this house, the minute I knew I was moving here, I took that motherfucker here and I took it out the box finally and I put him right in my living room where he is going to be the hello, welcome to my house. If you don't know, my owner is a little bit creepy and likes toys. And if you don't know now, you know.
That's cool. Yeah. I cannot. I am desperately trying to find the John Paul Kaiser one. I'm not able to find it. That's all right. We'll do it for later.
Oh, I was going to try.
So it's a pretty cool. It is a cool custom. So Nicole, let's see. Let's go with your number.
And of course, I'm looking to find it.
Right. All right. So we got to go custom this way.
What do we got next?
All right, so we'll do the Mondrian first. Here we go. Here you go. You're up. City map of New York.
Yeah, the Met. I mean, the Met is one of my favorite museums ever. Oh. I mean, it really is. The Metropolitan is just extraordinary. This literally has zero things to do with this piece, but the Met has one of my favorite exhibits of all time there. It's like a faux Nile River type thing. I fucking love it. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, that's been my favorite museum ever. But there are so many different artists, like, you know, quote, famous like museum artists that are with Dunnies now. Like they made the Frida Dunny recently that actually looks like Frida. They made a few of Keith Haring's. They made one of them, the Money, at least larger. They've done like, you know, Warhol and all that. But I really just like that they picked an entire series to just do on different paintings and different art that's in the Met versus one artist. And there's something about this piece that always made me go, dude, I fucking love it. Not the Dunny. I mean, yeah, the Dunny too, but like the painting itself. I was like, ever since I was little, I don't know. Like the Met really changed me in terms of like being like where I saw art and everything like that. Because most people, I'm sure, were like, well, if it's not a Van Gogh, it's not art. Like, you know, I know a lot of people who are like that. And, or like, if they don't know the name of an artist offhand, then it's not real art. And like the Met just shows you so many international, contemporary, non-contemporary, like so many different things. And like the exhibits just change constantly. And this just always made me go, fuck, art doesn't need to always be chaotic. It can be simplistic, bold colors, loud lines, and mean shit.
Right.
Like it could be linear as fuck. It doesn't have to be like, and that's the thing with me. Like I am so like for abstract, which is crazy for me to do because I'm very much like I need my lines to be crisp. I need my lines to be clean. I need everything to be perfect. If it's not perfect, I'm going to redo it. 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 And like this was always like my standard of like perfection and like symmetry and geometry and just like everything being like perfectly shaped and lined. And then my brain was like, bitch, you can't do that. Like, not just like you can't do that. Like, that's not where you need to go. So stop trying to be this perfection thing, but you can still fucking love it and you can still enjoy it without trying to mimic this kind of perfection. So like it's crazy because like I always say Frida is like my inspiration and shit, but like this piece itself always made me fucking insane as a kid because I would literally strive for like the most crisp and accurate lines ever.
Yeah, but if you actually see this up close and personal, those lines aren't clean. It looks clean in an art history book because it's reduced to a 3 by 3 inch piece. But if you see these pieces are like 3 by 3 feet, and those lines are not crisp at all. So like, this is definitely
to a little kid, my ass used to think that was perfection, and that's the crazy thing. Like as time grew, and I realized like, oh, I can't be perfect. I started to notice that the shit that I looked at for perfection isn't perfect.
Right.
Like the same shit that I'm sitting there going, I strive to do this. I strive to do this. That shit ain't perfect. Like, what do I do? If you see the things I used to do, like those paint and wine classes, I used to like always go with the things that were like, just, this is how the line needs to work. This is how this needs to go. And when I like couldn't do exactly like that crisp ass line, it would drive me fucking insane. So up my ass went to the motherfucking mat a few years ago just to like kind of like and to see art and like that I appreciated and that I've always appreciated. And like this is when I started to go up to paintings closer. I never did. Like I would always, admire it and, like go from a back and try to get the whole thing. Now my ass, especially now that I do, like I actually like show my art, I'll get as close as my fucking body can so I can see like the shading. I'm crazy. And people will be like, what's this bitch doing? And I'll be like all up in a painting like that. And it's just nuts. Like you said, it's not crisp. And you're just like,
yeah.
Well, what the fuck?
Well, like
it makes you think that everything that you thought about art, especially if you're a child doing it, like,
yeah,
you're wrong.
It's wild. Like, yeah, like.
And of course, then on the Dunny, they're like, oh, look, here's a crisp line. And you're like,
yeah. It's like when you take that and you put it in something like that, and you lose the brush strokes. That's how you know it's part of like the philosophy of Walter Benjamin. Interesting dude. We're not going there tonight, but you get to see like you have this one piece. You have a piece and a painting that then loses its soul because it gets reproduced by technical means, and all of a sudden it no longer has a soul because it's got a matrix that's just rubber stamping them out, and so you lose something in the translation, and and then all of a sudden it goes from like this well-defined painting, the meaning behind it being defined, to looking like a graphic design problem. And so like the dunnies that they've selected to do, like the artist dunnies, those scoot the edge of the license conundrum from that we touched on last week. But what they selected to do they're pretty cool. Those are pretty fair examples. Like I'd lose my shit if they did a Rothko and they did like a white square on top of a light gray dunny. I'd lose my shit on them. So they've chosen well, and that's cool.
Like the biggest, I think, outside of this, since that was my like, I need to be perfect like this. I need to be perfect like this. Like the biggest mind fuck for art for me was Mona Lisa, because everyone thinks that Mona Lisa must be this grand, massive painting.
Oh, it's like less than an 18 by 24, isn't it?
She's fucking tiny. She's like what, 12 by 16 or something like that. I can't remember. She's small as hell. And when I went to the Louvre, my uncle, I guess they call her Lagrange. I don't know what that means. he was like, look, the wait to get to that is like an hour and a half, and you see a painting that's yay big because like he's seen it in person before. So he's like, yay big, and you have to literally just look at it and pass. Or otherwise the line can't go. And my brain instantly was like, I'd rather see the rest of the Louvre. It was either like you do that and you wait nearly 2 hours to see one painting, or you see the rest of the Louvre. And I was like, frankly, I'm a little disappointed to know that it's only yay big.
Right. So like Dali's Persistence of Memory, the Melting Clocks one, it's smaller than this sketch. It's about the size of this sketchbook. But we see
always see it in these grand,
and you see it on like every poster that's ever been made. They're way bigger than a sheet of notebook paper, but it's like, it's just this tiny ass painting.
Van Gogh's self-portrait where he looks like a captain, kind of like the captain of a boat, kind of. That's in Musée d'Orsay in France, and like it's like the same size of like I was about to call her Lagrange, Mona Lisa, and in that museum you can get way too close to comfort to some shit. And I remember taking a picture, like a selfie, and I was like, just me and Van Gogh chilling. We're like, his head's smaller than my head. And like, in a textbook or something, you're like, oh my God, I bet you that's huge. And it's like, no.
Or in art history, we just see everything the same size because it's projected on this wall. And it's like, I guess I didn't pay attention to the size of the brushstrokes, but it's like, oh, okay, it's painting. And it's huge because we see it in art history, and it's like, movie theater size. And it's just crazy.
And then you see in person and it's like this big, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Like there's like 2 or 3 Salvador Dali's at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. And it's nice because there is one that's about the size of 18 by 24 inch. And then there's a couple smaller ones, but you see the Roy Lichtenstein pieces and they're fucking huge. They're bigger than doors. And of course, it's pop art. And then there's like, the Takashi Murakawa paintings or sculptures. Those are fun to see there. And then what I was thinking of, like the Salvador Dali lobster phone. They have one there. And I've saw like Martian Toys Money Calling. I thought it would be super hilarious if I could get a hold of one and just switch it out with the lobster, make them look like Salvador Dali. That'd be fucking.
Oh my God, that would be so fun.
So like, future, I suppose. But yeah, so let's see. We got old screen share. We got my turn. We're gonna go. Let's see. I got 2 more. We're gonna go with this one. This is one of the few Dunnies that I've not actually been able to physically hold in my hands. Which is unfortunate. So this was a chase off of the last Arcane Divination series. Dr. A came in when they couldn't. And like, this is the tree. I wanted to get a hold of one of these so I could customize it. I have no idea how I'd actually paint the damn thing, but I wanted to customize one. I bought a case in hopes that I could get one of these a year ago, but I think part of the reason wanting a 5-inch Dunny is because it would be easier to paint than a 3-inch version of this, but it's pretty cool. You've got a skull hiding in here. You've got these wispy tendril things that like kind of look like a mustache in the way Dr. A does his old-timey things, or it could be flames, or it could be smoke, it could be whatever, part of the tree. This one's loose to interpretation, I think, with a different color app. Not to say that this doesn't pop, but I'm going to just let my hubris say that like I'd paint it differently and I'd give it more pop. There.
Yeah.
There, I said it. I like this because it doesn't have the arms. It is a armless form. Head and body have the body actually has some sculpt to it. It says Dr. A all over with the metal and the way the mustache is made, but like
it's by far one of my favorite chases.
It is a cool one, and yeah, I've been known to customize chases, so that one is. All right, Nicole, you're up. I'm going to give you an extra minute worth of talking time, and see you in a second. Let's see.
Where are you going?
Nowhere. Apparently nowhere, because I can't get that to work without that. Right. There it is. Where are we going? Ah, there we go. The first one. Screen share. There we go. Boom.
Have you seen this one in person?
No.
Okay. There are the cutest little things inside there. There's like a little Christmas tree. There's just a whole bunch of like little toys inside of that. There's like I think there's like a bottle in there. Yeah, there's like a beer bottle in there. But it's so tiny. So tiny. And I was thinking having it large, like what was the fairy dunny that had like the little mini dunnies inside of it. I feel like that would be too much with the snow, but keeping like this amount of snow, maybe a little bit more, and having bigger internal pieces would be perfect, because those little guys are really small and they get they get hidden, since the static from whatever they use to make the snow, the static of that sticks to the inner part of the plastic a lot. So I think keeping the amount of that snow the same, or maybe just a little bit more for the size, but not like a lot more, would be good. But then having the internal parts bigger, like the little additives, because they, like I said, they get super lost in that shit. And it's just a fucking cute seasonal dunny. It's not like the drunk Santa, which is adorable, but I feel like this larger is a cute and nice like holiday piece. You know, like people do Halloween displays and Christmas displays and shit like that. I put this out for Christmas. I fucking love it. What I don't love is the snow that sticks to the sides, like I said, and then having to knock it around a bunch of times so you could see that there's a fucking Christmas tree in there. So I was like, when you walked away, I was saying like 8-inch with like, I forgot the fairy dunny one, but the one with the gut that had the guts in it. I feel like that's just too big with the snow. Like it's just too much of that foamy shit. I think 5 would be good with just that amount, a little bit more. Solid piece. And fuck it. Glue the hat down, please. Glue the motherfucking hat down. I'm so tired of it knocking over in my cat, or like taking it thinking it's a toy, or me being like, what happened to the little hat? Like I like it when accessories are accessories. But that, just glue the hat down.
Okay.
that one doesn't need to be a loose accessory. It's not plastic, so it doesn't like hold in like the hand well or whatever. Like it slips off the ear. You go like this, the fucking thing slips off the ear. Like,
really?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's soft. Okay. I love that dunny. I won't lie. I love that dunny.
I have a plastic shell from one of the Freeney dunnies where it's like, oh, that could be redone as a heat. But I had it did not come apart clean. When they glue those things shut, they expect them to stay shut. So I sent the skeleton out to get customized. All right. So last but not least on my end, this would be, I know this was made as a 3-inch and an 8-inch, so it would be, again, this is one of those ones where it's like, I'm guilty of wanting it just to customize. I have customized an 8-inch one of these before, and it's big. It's
J-Roo?
It's J-Roo. We gravitated towards the Arcane Divination series.
We really did.
I like, for either wanting things to be bigger or smaller, from where they started. Like, I got to admit, you know, when I ordered a box of Series 2, this was a chase in the Series 2 box too. I was hoping to get this guy as well, or this guy, so I could customize it too. This is an amazing sculpt. Both of his filigree sculpts. The other one's the fat fancy ass dunny. Um, they're both really fantastic sculpts, and like you get this like 2-color treatment normally from Kid Robot, where it's like the color of the vinyl plus a wash, um, which means there's lots of room on the plate for customizers who want to take it above and beyond, and I sure as hell did, and would do some more, and I really dig it, you know. And also came with the accessory little dunny. Um, but that guy is shiny as hell.
I love that thing.
This is a
Look
fantastic
into
one.
my crystal ball.
This is the Clairvoyant from that series, and yeah, I think it's a fantastic one. So, Nicole, you sent me 4. Do you have a 5th one you wanted to zip up? Or
No,
okay.
I had the 4 because I had to take out my other ones,
But you couldn't find
and
another.
I forgot to look for a new one because I'm an
So
idiot.
the only other one that I'd say that actually I have it over here. This is like, I don't know, can't believe Kid Robot hasn't made this a 5-inch dunny. Or like an agreement couldn't be made upon it, but this would be the other one that
Yes.
why this for whatever reason I didn't put on my list because I figured Nicole's going to put it on hers. But yeah, the 5-inch quick dunny, that would be super cool to have as well.
You know, a 5-inch that I would like to have is a 3-inch.
Yeah.
Tristan's the metal ones, the money dunny.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Not 8-inch. 8-inch is too big. I like how it's 5 now. Good heft to it, good weight. I would like it in small too.
So, oh, wow, we've done a fantastic time talking and burning up the day. But okay, so we're going to skip the technique of the week. We're going to go to homework so we can do our outros soon enough. So, homework. This is fun. All right. So we have we are going to meet back in August. Oh my gosh, the summer has just flown away or flying by. So we'll be back August 7th, which is great. It gives us 2 weeks away, which gives yeah. So this homework, 2 weeks long. Here's the idea. We're going to get to paint whatever you want, but you get to do it, paint whatever you want. But I had to grab, sorry guys, I had to grab gloves so I could hold my toy again. So this was done on the idea of what the homework's going to be about, which is a random choice generator. Now you can do anything you want to make a random choice generator. So I started out by I chose a color at random by virtue of throwing 5 paint bottles into a box and pulling out one that was green. So we started out with green. And I was faded up the body with the green, and I said I want to have that transition to another color. So I flipped a coin to go from yellow or blue, heads blue, tails yellow. I chose blue, or I won blue, so I got the transition in the back to be a blue. I didn't say what kind of blue, so I had a dark green transition to a nice sky blue here. And then the legs I had predetermined were going to be gray, but I wanted to have but because I had green and blue here, I decided to have it as an analogous color scheme. And so after blue on the color wheel, we got our purple, and that's how we get our choices for this. And so done starting at random, because so the green was the random and the blue was random, and then the purple was the next logical step to have an analogous color scheme there.
Did you know when I was little, I was called Tweety?
So what?
I was called Tweety when I was little by my godmother.
Very good. So that's the idea, is come up with a way to randomize a painting or toy, drawing, whatever, and execute it that way. So I have somewhere in my studio, somewhere in here, I have or at least I made a spinner that had like 6 transformers on it. And then and that's how I ended up with this color concept for this Mecha Goliath thing, which is this is the Megatron of the choice. And then, you know, I chose Megatron, and then going on with his color scheme, that's what made painting this guy super easy. I was like, oh, okay, well, Megatron, then you get to decide, do you want the shattered glass? Then this is where, like, okay, you're researching Megatron on your old Google machine, and then you get to decide, do you want the shattered glass? Do you want the primal? Do you want the vintage? Do you want this? Do you want that? Da, 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 da. That's your choice. But your random generator said Megatron. And there are a few toys that this summer that's like, okay, I want to paint this, and I use a randomizer just to get started and then finish it on my own. But you know, it's fun to do. I have on my other YouTube channel, I have a Ravager that I painted where I broke it down piece by piece, and then I rolled a 6-sided dice to assign 6 different, one of 6 colors to each part. Turned out really fun. Yeah, and I'll probably share that to Paint Club later on this week, just because of the idea of all the randomness, which is super fun. So I just think that, like, because we have 2 weeks, this could be something different to do. So there we go.
This isn't very nice. I just did it with my Posca markers because I have every color. So I just did it like this.
Yeah.
And now I have green too.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's actually a challenge for me. Good.
So yeah, and I mean, like, that's two of the toys that I'm working on now. Is like, okay, well, let's just throw some bottles in a box and see what happens. And you know, it's basically the fuck around and find out mentality. So yeah. When I did the Tweety Bird, it was very much like, if I need to darken it with black or lighten it up with white, there's no rule that says I can't do that. So yeah.
No, it's your rule.
Yeah. So like, and you know, the Ravager that I'm going to share the video on, it was very much like, you know, there's accents throughout to make it more interesting, but yeah, the 6 colors held true, and I really like it. Like my Ravager ended up with an orange face, and I think it looks fucking cool. So,
I'm excited. I like this one. Challenge accepted.
So like, oh, and the other, all right, we got to go backwards just a little. So there is a 5-inch Dunny that I love, and I'm glad they did make it 5 inches. Which I only have a custom version right in front of me, but so this was actually like the Freeney 5-inch Dunny.
So yes.
This is my favorite of the 5-inch Dunnies that Kid Robot has made so far, because I'm a big fan of the Freeney Dunnies that you do see, and for me, it's like getting 2 blanks in one, because you get that 3/4 of the flat Dunny to work with, and then you get a little skeleton to do with as you see fit. And I know they made a Donnie Draco a production colorway of that, but by far, I think that's my favorite 5-inch Dunny, because yeah, I get to customize it. And
maybe I'll go find a 5-inch Dunny to go customize.
so like, that's pretty cool. And I know, like, okay, Dolly Oblong had a really cool one. Not to say that the 5-inch Dunnies that have been made are crap, because far from it. There are a lot of really cool ones. There's, like, you know, it's just a world to explore. Like the Dolly Oblong ones are really cool. The Dr. A cube head one, because it's it's based on a Ouija board, and it's really cool. Actually, the Dr. A one I'm thinking of was a 3-inch custom originally, and then Kid Robot apparently liked it so much they struck a deal to turn it into a 5-incher. And I think there's a glow in the dark version where the letters all glow in. glow and stuff. Yeah. So there you go.
Nice.
Throughout my wants, my wish, 5-inch Dr. Ray Dunny floating around. All right.
You hear that, Kid Robot?
That's right. Somebody tell Kozik to have other people make 5-inch Dunnies. All right. So that being said, we're going to be done for the day. And Nicole, please tell everybody where they can find you.
Casually shaming my father on the internet until tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Did I get a new mattress? But on Instagram at the.Mad Address.
Very cool. I'm Rick Stroh at RICSTROH on Instagram. Yeah, when we do this for the good vibes, we'll see you all sometime as a surprise visit, but see you on the 7th of August. Ciao.
We'll be in Leo's